Hey guys, it's No BS Nutrition. Like and subscribe if this video was helpful for you today. So I'm going to talk about different glycemic effects of different types of food. What is the glycemic effect? Well, a glycemic effect is pretty much your glucose levels going up, or your blood pressure going up when eating these foods, or your insulin spiking up when eating these foods. That's what it means. So for example, potatoes and bananas. Obviously, if you eat these on its own, this has a low glycemic impact, so it won't impact your insulin or blood pressure super high compared to these bananas, which is a fast-acting carb, compared to these potatoes, which is a moderate, slow-acting carb. The reason why we want to eat these type of foods than these processed foods like these cereals, because insulin spike increasing over and over can lead to gain of body fat. And typically when you have an insulin spike, whereas fruits or something, it could lead to you over consuming or consuming processed food that has that glycemic index to it, which is fast. Our brains and our gut and our nervous system love these processed foods just because of the fast-acting carbs that's available in the sugars rush that gives the body that it wants. We don't want that to happen because that can lead to overconsumption. And we have an overconsumption problem in America of these processed food because it's so high addicting and high glycemic. People love it and just want to keep consuming more and more of it. That's why it could lead to body fat and just basic spiking your insulin throughout the day with these foods, or even just eating, like if you eat bananas in your whole diet, literally just bananas, you can gain body fat because of so much sugar. Even though it's natural sugar, you could gain body fat. But that's a crazy scenario if you eat your calories with bananas only. And it's just not good to spike your insulin so much throughout the day because that could cause 2-type diabetes as well. You guys have to consider the fact these foods are not bad for you, especially the cereal is not bad, but it could lead to overconsumption of the fast sugar content that contains in it, the carbs, the rush, the feeling strong. Like once you eat a bowl of cereal, you might have a rush, or maybe if you're dieting and then once you eat the bowl of cereal, you might have that rush. You feel stronger, your body wants that, and wants that processed food. But not even talking about processed food is these potatoes. This is a low glycemic carb. It's moderate to slow. It's not going to go in your bloodstream as fast as these bananas, which is just carbs and sugars. Of course, bananas are not bad for you. Fruit is not bad for you. If you're diabetic, you have to check on that and see how much you can eat throughout the day. But fruit is not bad for you. But eating so much fruit to the point that you're eating about 100 grams of just fruit every day, if you're active, maybe not so terrible. It depends on a lot of situations. Of course, it depends on your activity level. So I can't really say it's bad for you. I can't say that. I just can't, because you could be active. You could be an athlete. You could run, jog. You could have 30,000 steps or have a 9-to-5 job. So I don't know. But you have to take in consideration that you might want to slow down on the processed food and try to pair it with something like a slow acting carb instead of these processed foods, which can lead to overconsumption into body fat. A lot of things connected to overconsuming a lot of these things. That's what I think, in my opinion, is what I've been studying and just been like, in my experience, it just leads to overconsumption, really. You're not going to gain so much body fat on your maintenance calories. Unless you have messed up sleep and all that stuff and you low activity. But let's just say you're normal, and you have moderate activity, you're eating the same, you're not going to gain that much body fat. But the thing is, if you're not active or just eating more processed food on your diet, then those extra sugars from processed like refined sugars from processed food could lead to excess body fat because it's easier to convert sugars into body fat. It just is. It can go in the bloodstream faster. It can lead to body fat faster. It's really just over-consuming. You're perfectly okay eating a banana here and there. You're perfectly okay eating a potato here and there. You're also okay eating vegetables. Vegetables are literally a nice fiber intake that you need to clear out your stool. It takes all the poop, the waste, and mold it and just make it release. Fiber is good for you. Well, I would suggest eating a slow or fast-acting carb, or even a processed food, for example, that is very fast. Of the two of these, compared to the vegetables, is paired with a protein. Protein is actually one of the most satisfying macronutrient available, and also is the most beneficial for your butt because it can build muscle and less of the hunger pains. You're not going to get hungry eating 150 grams of protein, or maybe 200 grams, depending on your body weight and depending how much you do eat, like your diet's like, or how you go about your life. So, for example, with these potatoes, I would probably pair it with realistically egg, steak, or anything that can combine with the carbs. Because I don't want to eat carbs alone. Even though this might be a moderate, slow-acting carb, it can still spike my insulin. Of course, if you're active afterwards and moving, that's more beneficial. Maybe you can eat a potato, you can afford that. But if you're working a 9-to-5 job, you don't want to eat a potato alone, eat all these potatoes, and you just spike your insulin. Technically, that can raise blood pressure, glucose, some insulin spike, diabetes, possibly. If you keep doing that to a consistent amount of time, like, I mean, months and months and months, like above like 5 months that you're doing that, and you're not that active. Bananas, for example. I eat bananas alone, like one banana. Even though it spikes my insulin, I'm extremely active afterwards. You don't see me sitting down. You don't see me laying down. You see me walking. You see me moving. So if you're going to eat a fast-acting carb like bananas or cereal, pair with a protein. The best thing I do like is taking a protein shake and put cereal in it. Literally buy those protein shakes, put cereal, and you already got milk. You got the taste of the protein, and you got protein to temper that insulin spike. Vegetables, they have a very low, they're the lowest glycemic. Like, you don't have to worry about it. You can eat a whole can of vegetables by itself. I know some vegetables that has higher carbs, like maybe carrots, yams, like potatoes. But you don't have to be too specific with vegetables. Really just fruits in general and processed foods. Of course, you want to have a balanced diet and not just eat mostly processed, and that's easier said than done. Everyone has their moments, that's perfectly fine. But what you can do is, if you did eat a fasting carb or a moderate fasting carb without a protein source like eggs, dairy, 2 glasses of milk, something like that of that sort, then you can just move. Move for about 5 minutes. Do something, because obviously you got something to do. Everyone got something to do. So maybe instead of playing the video games that you staying, like sitting, don't go outside because that's not realistic for you probably. But maybe just go to the kitchen and get a glass of water, or wash it down, or brush your teeth after you ate that fruit. Do something. Move. Like, don't make it unrealistic for you. I'm going to go outside and do a 10-minute jog. It's not realistic. So just pair all of these carbs with something with like a protein source to dampen the insulin spike and prevent you to overeat. I want you precaution you again. I'm gonna end this video pretty shortly. Again, that when you eat processed food, cookies or anything, try to eat a protein source before that. So cereal is a great example because you can put protein milk. But I know a lot of people eat cookies, chips, and all those other processed foods. So you're not gonna put protein milk or buy a protein shake. So what I would suggest is before eating that, probably save it to the end of the day and eat something else. Or if you can handle that and eat that processed food and not overeat, then that'll be perfectly fine. But just make sure to move to dampen the insulin spike. We are just trying to dampen the insulin spike over time. We don't want to consistently spike the insulin if we're not especially active or moderately active. If you're very active, this is different, but it's still same thing. So you guys have to take precaution of yourself and what can work for you, and experiment. Really, you gotta experiment. It's no one answer. Sorry, that's the truth. It's no one answer. I can tell you from my experience that we have a lot of things going on in our head, mentally, emotionally, mostly, not physically. And that's the thing, it's all a mental game. You guys have to take in consideration of this for yourself. Make it easy, trying to figure out a way. If you don't figure out a way, how are you going to know it's easy or not? You can look at something and see the big picture, and it looks hard because you didn't cut it in half and see, oh, that makes sense, or fully understand that 1%. You want to understand that 50%, even though that takes too much time, it takes too much brain power. So try to cut things in half, make it easier for yourself to lose weight, lose body fat, and make sure you do not spike your insulin. And leave this video a good note. Make sure to like and subscribe. Share this to a friend if you can. This video is pretty informational in my opinion. So share it to a colleague, and bye.